Hi, this is Ryan Lawler with TechCrunch TV. I'm here with Michael Serta, who's the SVP of Product and Technology for VEVO. We're hanging out in this beautiful Airbnb at South by Southwest in Austin, and you're just about to announce a new product called VEVO TV, right?
That's right. We're very pleased to announce the return of music television.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about like why you started on this project. It kind of started about a year ago when you did a big redesign and, where you're going with it.
Yeah, this is very iterative. We've been moving in this direction since then. You covered it then, and I remember that, and you were tapping into it then, I think, and so were we, obviously. I think some of the conclusions and thesis that we look at is it's around the fact that today's music services are very much on-demand based, right? There's all this choice, which is wonderful, right? So how do you provide more choice, but not make it more work? Opening up a music service or a video service today I have to think about what I want to watch. Not everybody always wants to think about what they want to watch or listen to. So that's why we came up with VEVO TV. It's an opportunity to present a 24/7 linear program stream. No algorithms, right? This is humans making it for humans. Humans that love music, making it for humans that love music, and creating this experience that is almost magical. And for those of us that were around the first time around, it's reminiscent. It's like, oh, I get it. So that's why we're calling it VEVO TV. It's 24/7. It's curated, and it's nonstop. And it's what's different though. What's evolved is that it's across all of our platforms, right? So it's not just on the web, it's on mobile web, it's on iOS, it's on Android, it's on Roku, it's on Xbox, it's on Windows Phone. It'll be on more devices. And it's essentially, it's a channel, if you will, right? It's kind of a network, but with one channel on it to start. But you can imagine where this could go from here, right? Because could become multiple channels that are covering specific genres, for example, in multiple regions, right?
Okay. All right, so the idea is it's kind of like before you went to VEVO or you searched for a music video on Google or whatever, and you found what you wanted to watch, and then you didn't know what you wanted to watch anymore. And you also weren't really getting exposed to new music because, you were sort of self-selecting everything you watched. But this is going to change all that.
Absolutely. And in fact, a year ago, we did this thing where we made it so that if you search for a particular artist and video, selected and watched it, we would follow it up with additional videos. Mm-hmm. So we've had that for the last year, and that gave us actually more inspiration toward this. That's what iteration is all about. And I think I've said this probably to you before, and products are never really done. They're just evolving, ever evolving, and that's exactly what this is. It's getting here so naturally that makes it, I think, all the more interesting and exciting.
Okay. And you said there's no algorithms involved. I mean, did you hire a content team or a programming team to actually put this together? Like, how many people are actually working on this?
Yeah, so there's no algorithms allowed. We should have a sticker about that. I mean, because for years we've been in this age of algorithms, right? And that's the generation. The millennials were born into that generation, and we're trying to offer another alternative to that. And yes, we do have a content programming team, and there's a team of at least a dozen people that are spending their days and nights programming this, and it's truly handmade. It's video by video per each program block.
Okay. Well, so one of the cool things that I think about when I think about this idea is that, it's not just on the web. It's not just on your website, like you said before. It's on the iPad, but more importantly, it's on game consoles and streaming boxes and basically wherever you have VEVO, so you can watch it on your TV. So it's basically kind of like bringing back MTV back when MTV showed videos.
Yeah, well, I was there. I remember the magic of that, and that has something to do with the inspiration behind this, I think. And we had a lot of great experience in the last year with deploying to Xbox Live and to Roku, and we're going to expand that further as we go deeper into this year onto smart TVs and other over-the-top devices and gaming consoles. And so I think the volume we saw there in that environment, the volume of views was so much higher, and so the curve was so much sharper that it provided even more inspiration to the thesis.
Okay. So you said you're going to start with one channel, but you imagine, you start with VEVO TV, but then you get like VEVO Indie or VEVO Hip Hop or whatever the different genres are. Can you talk about that?
I mean, generally speaking, yes. You can imagine how that's where we could go next. That's where we can evolve. We're actually deploying across the world in multiple countries what we have today. So VEVO TV, as it is, will be deployed into other parts of the world, other countries where there's regional specific programming. Right? If you're in the UK, you don't want to see the UK programming, so we need to get that. So now, I'll say that this is a big engineering feat behind the scenes. It seems very simple on the consumer-facing side of this, but since you're TechCrunch, I should be able to tell you that this is a lot of technical stuff going on. There's a lot happening behind the scenes to make it work and make it feel like TV. And so what we're doing is launching this initial channel, if you will. But yes, it does, I think, become a network over time. It does become something, and it's not just music videos. I mean, you could imagine, again, news. You could imagine all the various original series, the live events, and we do a bunch of live events throughout the year. So instead of airing those on the web in some random web page, it's going to be on VEVO TV.
Awesome. So tell me about the monetization piece. Like, how often are you going to have ads? I imagine this gives you an opportunity to sort of better monetize as you get people tuning in for longer and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I think part of the thesis is that, lots of video viewing, right? Lots of engaged video viewers makes advertisers happy and more engaged as well. So everybody's interests become more aligned, I think, with this. And so what we're doing is we're doing pre-rolls every 3 videos, so I guess you can call them mid-rolls as well. We're also doing some sponsored blocks. We're also doing some bumpers between some videos as well, some slates. So there's sort of 3 pieces to this. We're launching actually with State Farm and McDonald's as ad sponsors this week. Is this interview today, or is it the day we're going?
It'll be the day that we're going. It'll air on Tuesday.
So should I pretend it's Tuesday?
Yeah, you pretend it's Tuesday.
Man, we worked hard all night long. And, this has been, everybody's been up all night.
Right.
But I'm tired. Tuesday already.
Yeah.
Feels like Sunday.
Okay. Well, let's take a look at it, what it looks like on the web, and you can sort of show us VEVO TV and walk us through it.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, cool. So we're looking at vevo.com right now. Tell us how you get to VEVO TV and what it's going to look like.
So we had 3 sort of criteria, 3 goals as we went into building VEVO TV. One was to make it easily discoverable and easy to use, to make it consistent across multiple platforms, and to really stay out of the way, right? Those are important things, I think, when designing a new sort of parallel experience inside of another experience. So we did 2 things on the web. If I go to my browse, I can drop down and see my stuff. I got on VEVO stuff, and then there's VEVO TV. And there's actually a video playing right here, right? If I click that, it takes me into VEVO TV. So that same video I was watching is now loading into VEVO TV. Of course, you see who it is. Here I've got a schedule. I'll turn it down so we don't rock the house too hard. Schedule, I can click this and I can see right now we've got Takeover plus Hot This Week. And that's French Montana and What's Hot This Week. And at 8 o'clock, it's going to be Hot Now, right? You can get the idea. There's each hour on the hour is a new program block. If I this is a sort of an ad bumper, what happens is if I find a video that I like, if I discover something during this, I can click the Watch Now, and it'll add it to a playlist for me that I could watch later. Share would obviously share to my social networks, feedback, and of course exit. There's another way we wanted to make it discoverable as well, which is by having it down in the left of the view. So if I'm scrolling on the home page or anywhere throughout VEVO for that matter, I could see a video, click on it, and get into VEVO TV.
Awesome, cool. And so this is the web version, but you also have iPad, your phone that you can show us?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll look at iPad here. Here we are on VEVO for iPad. And very similar to the web, I've got this persistent bar throughout the experience that will take me into VEVO TV mode. And there's the schedule that shows here. And I could scroll through that. Again, I can watch later. And it'll add to a playlist. I could share it. And what's nice about this is it's 24/7. It's constantly streaming. I know I always have a place to go wherever I am, no matter what I'm doing, whether it's on this device, this device, this device, whether it's I'm in the living room on an over-the-top device, I can get to this and I can watch something. There's always something on, and that's what we're trying to answer for.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for showing it to us.
Thank you.
All right, well, thanks for being with us. Thanks for showing off VEVO TV.
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure to always talk to you guys and bring this stuff to you.